most of it is the doctor's fault. Injury I have, that's a brachial plexus injury. Hey guys!
Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Kalali.
And I'm Josh. Make sure you guys subscribe and like the videos.
And make sure you turn on your post notifications because we post videos every Sunday. We're back with another video this week, and today's video was very highly requested. It's actually explaining Josh's injury. We talked about it in a few videos and you guys were very curious on what's going on. So like in big, his right arm is paralyzed. Well, not his arm, his shoulder, but it's paralyzed. And so we're going to kind of go in detail on how that happened, what his condition is called, and kind of what he can and can't do, and how, I don't know, just the whole story. So I'm just going to say a little disclaimer before we go ahead with this video. If you like get triggered or don't like hearing about medical things or paralysis or anything like that, hospitals, whatever, then don't watch this video. It's not for you. Go watch another one of our videos.
Yeah, just hit subscribe and like the video and then go watch another video.
Yeah. This video is mainly about him, but I'm just kind of here for moral support. He wanted me. I asked him if he wanted to do it alone. He wanted me there. I'm not just like here for no reason.
Yeah, but I want her opinion on it. I want your point of view because you were around during part of it.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna say a little bit of my input on it and just kind of be here for moral support.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get started with how he even got his arm paralyzed.
Yeah, exactly. So first I'm gonna show you guys like what I can and can't do with my arm. So my arm can not go up higher than that. Oh, okay. It can go up that much, but then I have to like manually move it, and then also my hand can't go like this, like it can't open up like a palm. I can do it like halfway, and then I can like try to force it, but that's the max. Same thing with like reaching behind my back. Like the most I can really do is like I can't put my palm against my back. I can only put the back of my hand against my back. Like I can't rotate it. Anyway, so yeah, we're just gonna jump right into like how this happened. It is a birth injury, so this was caused at birth. I was born in the womb completely normal, like everything was fine.
Born in the womb.
I was in the womb. I was born in the womb. I was in the womb completely normal. Like I had 2 functioning arms, and they were, they would have been fine. But when my mom was in labor, I was simply just way too large to even come out. I was 11 pounds, and to be exact, I was 10 pounds, 15 ounces, which is insanely big.
Yeah.
Like my mom had diabetes when she was pregnant for me, so like when that happens, they
tend to swell.
Yeah, like the women tend to swell, and then the baby just happens. It just always gets it gets huge.
Yeah.
So I was 2 weeks early. Now, if the doctor said if she would have waited 2 weeks later, like I would have been like I would have been way too big to even come out. So anyway, so yeah, that was the first complication on what happened. So I just got stuck, right? Now the second complication was that the doctor himself, well, he wasn't the greatest, and he still has his license to this day, but I personally think that he should definitely lose it. The reason being, it's like he also gave birth to my little cousin, and she's fully paralyzed head to toe. Like absolutely no motor movements or motor abilities or anything.
Yeah, there's been a lot of incidents like with that doctor, and his parents, like his dad even asked to do a C-section, and the doctor said like no.
Yeah.
Thought he could do it naturally. And so it's kind of on the doctor's fault for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I'm not one to blame, and I wasn't there. Like I don't know. But
you were there.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I guess I was there. But I mean, like I don't remember. So obviously, like I don't know what the story is. But like from the looks of it, like it is the doctor's fault. Like most of it is the doctor's fault. Like if my mom would have had a C-section, I wouldn't have the injury.
Yeah.
So like I said, while my mom was in labor, I was stuck in the birth canal. So my shoulders were just stuck right against the pubic bone, sorry. and the doctor began to pull on my arms and my neck, which should never happen. A doctor is meant to just direct the baby. It's not supposed to actually pull on the limbs. So while he was doing that, he tore all the ligaments here in my arm, all the nerves in my arm, along with breaking my left arm as well as collapsing my lung. So when I was first born, I was completely blue head to toe because I couldn't breathe.
Yeah. And yeah, he had a broken arm. He couldn't breathe because he had a collapsed lung, and his other arm
Yeah.
There was nerve damage anyways, and then eventually paralyzed.
Yeah.
I put him in a full body cast, which they're also not supposed to do, right?
Yeah, they did that for my left arm. Right away, they didn't do that for my right arm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, that's okay, yeah. But for my right arm, you're not supposed to do that when it's nerve damage like that, because it's like anything. If you just stop moving it at whatsoever, it's just eventually going to seize there and it won't be able to move.
Yeah.
The best thing to do is fight through the pain and move it. Like when he was pulling on my neck and everything, like I said, he damaged nerves here, and it stretched them all out. And the nerves that he broke are called brachial plexus nerves, and that's what the injury I have. That's a brachial plexus injury. Now I'm just gonna read off the internet so that way like we don't get.
Well, yeah, we did our research,
yeah.
but like this is his story. We just made sure with his mom and with Google.
Yeah, like I knew what it was, but like I want it to be like
for sure.
Yeah, like exactly correct with it.
We're not gonna give out false information.
Exactly. So the brachial plexus is a network of nerves in the shoulder that carries movements and sensory signals from the spinal cord to the arms and hands. Brachial plexus injuries typically stem from trauma to the neck and can cause pain, weakness, and numbness in the arm and hand. So that's what happened when he stretched it out. It completely just like paralyzed. That's technically the term. And then also along with that, which happens a lot with brachial plexus injuries, is called cerebral palsy disorder, which I also have, yeah, which is a common disorder. So cerebral means brain, and then the palsy. Cerebral palsy is a group of disorders that affects a person's ability to move and maintain balance and posture. CP is the most common motor disability in childhood. Cerebral means having to do with the brain. Palsy means weakness and problems with using muscles. Yeah, so like I don't think anyways I have any brain disorder or whatsoever, but it's more of it's not really like a person can still think and they could, they can still go on with their life. It's more of the movement aspect. So like the nerves, like I said, that are going towards the hand and the arms,
they don't develop.
Yeah, they don't develop. Well, no, they just, when they're sent, they just have nowhere to go. So that's the way I was explained to as a kid. So it's like sending in a message and then just it not ever getting there. So that's why my arm can't go up, and that's why my hand can't turn, and that's why, that's just the reason why. After all this, about 2 years later or so, I went to Sick Kids, so it's a big children's hospital in Toronto, and they have experts from every genre, like every single thing ever, and there's a big department in there on like paralysis. I'm just helping with that, like yeah. And they have like highly experienced and highly qualified doctors that specialize in cerebral palsy as well as brachial plexus, which is great. So like she said, I had a body cast on my right arm, or on my left arm, sorry, because it was broken, but then obviously that came off after a few weeks. But on my right arm, they had put like a sling or like a brace on my hand and from my elbow to my hand to kind of stop it from moving. They thought that's what would help it. So when I got to Sick Kids, right away, the first thing they did was they took it off of me, and they were super, super mad at my hometown's hospital and everyone there for putting that on, because like I said, when you're when you have like nerve damage like that, the best thing to do is physio, is move it, and
you shouldn't,
yeah, you shouldn't stop it from moving, because it will literally not move ever. And actually, one of my closest cousins has the same thing, but on the left arm, like literally the exact same cause, like and everything, or maybe not cause, sorry, but the exact same disorder and injury, and her, they kept her in a cast and that sling and everything like that, and her arm is stuck like that, like she can't move it. Like I have a lot more mobility than she does, which is very unfortunate. And like my mom says, it's a very good thing that they did remove it, because I started moving my hand. They started doing like these little tests on me and like where to with like Cheerios and stuff like that. They put it like on like a little table, and they would see like which arm I would reach with, and I would actually reach with my right arm, because I was right-handed when I was born.
How sad is that?
Yeah.
He was trying to, like, he's a little baby trying to reach for a Cheerio with his right arm because he's born right-handed and he can't reach it because, you know, so he had to learn to be left-handed.
Yeah. Like my mom said, it was like the saddest thing ever. Like I would reach with my arm and I couldn't get it, so I learned like, oh, I'll just grab it with my left hand, and I do that with everything. Like even now to this day, like sometimes like I'll like just be zoned out or whatever like that, and I'll try to reach for something with my right arm, and I can still use my hand. Like I still type on a keyboard, I can still drive, I can still do a lot of things. It's just it's mostly above head things. But yeah, even to this day, I'll try to reach something with my right hand, but sometimes it doesn't work. Anyway, so as years went by, I went through multiple surgeries, just trying to either improve or try to fix, and then with new technology and whatnot. And Sick Kids, it's a children's hospital, right? So they can only take you up to 18 years old. So in the past 16 years, I guess you could say, yeah, I had 6 surgeries, all within like 3-4 years of each other or something like that. And my last one before the last one I just went to would have been like, I was probably about 10 or 11 years old, and then even younger than that. And then the last one I had was 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago. 2.5 years ago. I was 17 years old, which is that one I definitely remember. That one there was an 11-hour surgery, and that's actually how Kareli and I got to be where we are now. Because I was at the hospital and I was trying to be cool and shit. And I posted a picture of me being at the hospital. Yeah, and everyone from like here, like they know about my arm. So like she knew about it, and she was just like kind of like checking in, like.
Well, I seen him at Sick Kids, and I was like, oh, I wonder like if something happened to it. I don't know. I didn't know, so I texted him, and I was like, hey, like, hope everything's okay or whatever. And that's how we started texting and talking. So you know what, if you would have never gotten that surgery, we would have never started talking again.
Yep. So that final surgery consisted of a lot. Like there was a lot going on. Like I said, it was an 11-hour surgery. So it was very precise, and it's a very rare surgery. Like it hasn't been performed many times at all in the whole entire world. It's because it's very new, right? So like it's all new, and they were just, a lot of it was, it had to be people over a certain age to be able to consent to it. So obviously I was 17, I was over the age of 16 where I can consent to it. So I obviously took it. If it could improve a little bit, then I would take it. And honestly, in all honesty, it did improve it a little bit, and I probably think that I'm completely grateful I did it. I don't regret doing it at all. But in everything, it didn't improve it too much. But I wasn't expecting much.
But I'm gonna expose him right now. After his surgery, he was supposed to keep going for physio and doing his exercises every night, and I was trying to push him to do his physio because the more you do your physio, the more it would have improved his arm after the surgery. And he did it for like the first 2 weeks, whatever. And yeah, and then he kind of
well, sorry,
his physio.
I didn't get lazy. I just fell in love. So anyways, this surgery consisted of reconstruction of my shoulder socket. So well, my arm is like almost permanently dislocated, like because they put me in a cast as a baby.
You can sleep like this.
Yeah, and it like this is
like doesn't.
My dog's like dying.
I thought he threw up.
So my what do you call that? Like the round of my bone is like here, like I could pop it in and out, and yeah. So when you're born, you're not born with sockets anywhere in your body. Your bones are just very like soft, and with moving around, you eventually form sockets, and that's why you have like sockets everywhere. But because they put me in a cast when I was born, that socket didn't have time to form, and so one of my very first surgeries was not a reconstruction of it, but it was like a Botox where they had to make some sort of artificial socket because what was happening was every time I tried to move my arm, it would hurt because it's bone on bone. So that's why like one of the earlier on surgeries was that. The reconstruction of that, and then also I think they either moved or added some sort of nerves. I never really heard anything about like adding nerves. Like that's what the talk was for a few years, but like I didn't hear about any donations or anything. So I think they just moved nerves around, or like added some from another part of my body, kind of thing. Anyway, so because they reconstructed my shoulder, like I said, my shoulder had to be sitting a certain position for at least over a month. So they put me in a brace. So it had 2 pins. It was 8-inch pins, and they were only sticking about 3 inches. So they were about 4 or 5 inches into my bone. 2 of them here, as well as 2 of them here, and then a big brace coming out like this. I'm gonna try to, hopefully Kakari can pull up a picture of it.
Yeah, I'll put a picture.
Yeah, so that's what I had to live with for 40 days. And with that, because it was holes in it was open wounds, I couldn't shower for 40 days, so I had to take sponge baths, which is fucking brutal. I don't ever want to do that again.
Yeah, I likes to shower.
I love showering. Like I shower like 2-3 times a day sometimes, and I shower for like 30 minutes. But it was just so gross, especially with my hair. Like I've always had long hair, especially even during this. So like, and I've always had greasy hair, so it like needed to be washed like every like 3-4 days or so. So, and back then I was washing it every day, so like it was very greasy. So I tried to wash it, and it was just hectic. It was just brutal. And then every few days my mom would have to change like the bandages here, because like I said, it's open wounds, and we can't let them heal, right? So like, well, you can, but like it would have just made it would have made it a lot worse taking them out. So like we had to keep it an open wound, but sterile this entire time. So it was just a lot of rebandaging, and it was just not fun. But at the same time, like I said, it's what made her and I meet each other, as well as that's the reason why I have my dog, because I bought him, but like it was kind of like a family decision to just kind of help me get through it. So I got 2 things out of it.
But the first time we ever hung out, he had his pins in, and I don't do well with medical stuff at all. Like anything, I think that's my biggest fear ever. And so I was scared because I knew he had pins, and I'm like, oh, what if I pass out just looking at them?
It's pretty wicked. So now I have 2 scars here, like just like little. It looks like I got shot, and then I got 2 of them here. I have 2 very old scars, like from, I believe it was like my 2nd or 3rd surgery or something like that. It was from when I was very young. One of them just here, like this little thing, I think it has like 3 or 4 stitches, if that. And then I have one on my back. You want to show them from where it's ranging from?
Yeah.
So right about from there, and then all the way.
It goes all the way down. Like
yeah, here. So there, and I think there's 40.
I can pull a picture of it.
Yeah, for like 40 or 50 stitches in it. So that one there, like I said, is from when I was very young, but they also like re-cut into it this surgery that just happened. Obviously to get into there and do all that fun stuff. But yeah, so I've always had those, and it's pretty cool.
Injury.
So how has the injury affected my life?
Like I would say he doesn't have a severe case because, and he also has a like positive attitude. So.
Yeah, I have a good personality for having this, you know. Like a lot of times, like especially like even her sister with diabetes, like for some reason like injuries like this like happen to people with the personality that can take it. You know what I mean? Like Kakari getting that, like she wouldn't be able to handle that.
No, like actually because I'm so reserved and anxious, and like I'm already prone to being like, I'll be honest, I'm not a very positive person. I'm just not.
Yeah,
I'm not
exactly.
like super negative, but I'm not like positive. So. I'm sensitive. I get affected by every little thing around me, and so I get sad by like one little.
Yeah, exactly. And like me, on the other hand, like no matter what the situation is, I always find the positive in it. So like, and I think the reason why I'm like that, whether it be because of the surgery or I have this surgery because of that, or what. Anyways, I just think I have a good personality for it. So how it has affected my life is. Overall, not much. Like, I've never known, like, people always ask me, like, oh, that must be so hard. I'm like, not really, because I've never lived another life without it, you know what I mean? Like, this is all I know. Like, I've never had a right arm. I've never had mobility in it where I could, you know, reach above my head or whatnot.
I feel like it would be harder to, like, go from, like, 2 perfectly good arms to then having that.
Absolutely.
Because now you were born like that, and so you've
like,
never known how it is to have.
Oh yeah, for
you
sure.
don't know what you lost.
Exactly. Like someone losing an ability or sense or anything, that's a lot worse than my case. Like, what I have is it's nothing to me because it's like I said, I've lived with it my entire life. But there is some things in life where like it just and I don't get sad over it. I just get very, very mad. Like I just get super, super mad at myself, at just, you know, the doctor, or sometimes I'll even get mad at God or whatever. I know I shouldn't, but I do. And it'll be like a lot, like when I'm working out, I hate working out. A lot of things. Sports, yeah.
Construction.
Well, sports wasn't like that big of a thing. The only sport that really affected me was like baseball. That one kind of hurt my
But you
heart.
wanted to play hockey too.
Hockey too, yeah. And because I'm naturally right-handed, like I said, when I play hockey, I have no choice but to play left-handed. Which, if you guys ever play hockey or any sport or like soccer or anything like that, you know, like you have a dominant arm and you have a dominant hand. Now, when you try to reverse that, it's like you're running backwards on a treadmill. You know what I mean? Like it's so hard to do. So like when I try to learn how to play hockey, I'd be playing left-handed. I'd just keep jabbing myself in the stomach with a freaking hockey stick because it just didn't feel natural. Baseball, I would have to catch with my left hand, take off my glove, and then pitch with my left hand. So that kind of sucked. Basketball was not bad.
Like construction.
Yeah, and then another thing was
for my dad.
yeah, like another thing was I worked trades. Like I was actually gonna make a career in trades. So like when I first started, I wanted to be a mechanic, and a lot of mechanical work, you're working underneath a vehicle, like above your head. So like it was pretty hard to do, and but I found like my ways of doing it. Like I would hook my pinky up to something, and then I'd work like around that. Or like she says, like construction, because I worked with her dad. That too is just like I just get mad. Like even now, like I'll use a drill or something like that. Like, you know, when I'm running an impact above my head or something like that, I'll just get mad. I'll like, hey, what the fuck? I can't hold it. Like it just pisses me off. But besides that, honestly, like I am overweight, and another thing that does bother me is that because my arm is down a lot, like I have a lot of like, it just hangs there, right? So like, yeah, so I have a lot of like saggier skin on that side, which that's one of my biggest insecurities is that, mostly on that side. And then another thing is like back to the gym, is working out. It sucks, but then it's also like as a guy, like one of the biggest motivators for yourself is like, you know, like flexing and like looking in the mirror and like looking how good you look, and then that's what motivates you to keep going, kind of thing. And I've always had that with my left arm and my left side, like chest and everything, like shoulder, chest, arm, everything, upper body, besides like abs and like, you know, it just sucks. Like even back, like it's super hard to do. So trying to like flex and everything like that, it's not doable, like not the proper way. Anyways, but yeah, besides that, there's nothing.
Well, I'm gonna talk about our relationship.
Our relationship.
Like how it's affected. Like
how is it? Oh, okay.
Me.
Okay, yeah.
Like,
let's hear it.
not how it affected me. I wouldn't say it affected me, but
no, but it does play a role. Like,
yeah.
Everything in our lives plays a role. So
yeah.
I want to hear it.
Well, like he's been like around like sick kids in hospitals and surgery his whole life because of his arm. So I don't know. I didn't know anything about it, and so I just knew his arm was paralyzed. So when we first started talking, I didn't know. Like I didn't want to make him feel like I pitied him, and I was like, you know, trying like not letting him do anything because his arm or whatever, because I know that he didn't like that.
Which I hate.
He hates when people like act like he can't do something.
Yeah, I hate playing victim.
Yeah.
I can do it. I've always told myself I can do it. I never let it stop me.
So I didn't want to do that, but like I'm so sensitive and I have such a big heart that I did feel bad, and I'm like, don't act like you feel like bad, you know, like it's that's how he is, like that's how it is. And so I just kind of got used to it being normal, and like I don't think it's ever really like affected. Sometimes I'll see him like trying to pick up like a bunch of bags, and I forget. I don't even know like that there's something wrong with his arm anymore, unless like something happens and I see that he's struggling, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should.
She'll be like, why is he having a hard time? Oh yeah. Yeah. She'll literally say that. She'll be like, babe, why are you? Oh yeah, okay. But no, it's cute. There's nothing.
And it's like I'd rather like
be honest, make a joke about it.
No, but I'd rather like make you feel like I don't like
notice.
think about your arm all the time. Like I
Yeah.
seriously do forget. Like to me, you're
Like,
just
even
normal.
Yeah, and most people that like I'll meet and they'll be like they'll find out about it like through someone else, or like especially at work, because like at work, like every job I've ever gotten, right away like tell the employer like, oh, okay, I have a paralyzed arm, like, you know, it doesn't stop me from anything, blah blah. And this day and age, like, they almost can't refuse you anywhere, so they never did. But anyways, so they'll tell like my manager or my supervisor or whatnot, and then, you know, as a word will spread, and then I'll be talking to someone, they'll be like, man, I didn't even, like, at first sight I didn't even realize, but like after they'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, I can tell a little bit of a difference. But then I also want to add on to, which is probably a big question, is bullying, like going through school. So when I was younger, it definitely affected me a little bit. It was a little bit hard to get through, but then when puberty hit, that's when I grew really big, really tall, and there wasn't much bullying after that because I was just big, right? So people were more scared of me. But after that, I was always like I said, I've always been a positive guy. I've always been, you know, happy-go-lucky. I was always try to, like, I was a class clown, and I would like to make people laugh. So to me, my comfort around it was making jokes about it. And I honestly, even to this day, I love when people make jokes about it, because I'd rather them make jokes about it rather than have pity on me.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I hate that. I hate pity. So I'd much rather people make jokes about it.
Yeah. Well, like he had a surgery when we met, and then he got like the surgery to get them out like a few months after.
Yeah, 40 days.
Like, yeah. So yeah, I was going on a trip while he was getting his pins out, so I was like super worried because he was in surgery, and I'm like, oh my god. Anyways, but like a year after that, it was his last time going to Sick Kids because he turned 18. So I went with him and his family for his last like checkup, just to like kind of check on his arm. So we go to Toronto and we go to Sick Kids, and I had so much anxiety because I hate hospitals, hate medical things. I was like, you know what, like, he's been going through this whole life. I'm like, why can't I just do it? Like, I'm gonna do it. And so I went to Sick Kids, which was a big deal for me because I hate that. So if you guys see him struggling in some of the videos, I'm kidding. Not actually, but sometimes you'll see his shoulders like down compared to the other one, or like sometimes he'll try and lift his arm, or like sometimes, I don't know, the way he lifts his arm, you see it.
Yeah.
Anyway, then now you guys know why, but I'm sure we didn't cover like every single little detail about the story, like we covered most of it. So if you guys have any more questions about it, then comment down below and we could probably do a part 2 if you guys want to.
Yeah, so if you guys made it this far into the video, comment down below paralyzed, so we know you guys watched it right to the end. We really hope you guys loved today's video. And if you did, please smash that like button. Hit us up with a subscribe, and because we really appreciate it.
If you guys want to know what's up with his arm in the future, probably won't be much change, but
yeah,
you know,
what's up?
You can keep up with our life because we're
join
cool
the
like
family.
That. Yeah.
Also, hit us up on our socials. Boom, anywhere here. Besides that, guys, we love you, and we will see you guys in the next one. Bye.